this. All right, well, there's one way to do it. Man, it is a comedy of errors this morning. I guess this is what happens when you've been on the road for, like 2 weeks straight, it feels like, and then you get home. Let me make sure that the audio is streaming there. So far, so good. Maybe. There we go. Okay, cool. Well, howdy, everybody. Drew Lentz, the wireless nerd. Let's see. It is May 20th today, Tuesday, May 20th. What a day. What a week. So many things going on. I appreciate your patience as I was getting all this stuff up and running and going. It has been a couple of weeks. I've been out. I've been out and about. Man, if you don't follow me on social media, look up Wireless Nerd. You can find me on LinkedIn. You can find me on X. You can find me on Instagram and all those places. And I post a lot of the stuff that I'm currently working on. So if you have any questions about any of that, please just feel free to reach out sometime and let me know, what you want to know more about. I keep pretty active with a lot of stuff that I'm doing. And right now I'm right in the throes of it. There's a lot of really great projects going on, but I want to turn around and look at what's happening with the entire industry, because there's been a lot of stuff that's going on in the last 2 weeks. And I don't even know where to start with all of it, because there's things that are near and dear to my heart that my loyal listeners know about. And then there's things that are just popping up left and right. I mean, it's like you sit back for a week and all of a sudden the entire world changes, and politically, there's all these things going on, but then commercially, there's all these things going on as well. I do want to start, first of all, with the digital equity program being called racist and illegal. I don't even know how to feel about that. I keeping politics out of it, which is really difficult to do in this case. This is just like a huge shocker, not only for what's happening in the internet industry and the connectivity industry, but then the equipment manufacturers and everyone else around them. When the Broadband Equity Act came out, the Digital Equity Act, the BEAD funding was first announced. There were a lot of places that don't have connectivity that were super happy about this, right? What a great opportunity to have federal funds have made available for broadband equity across the United States. And it got everybody excited. You know what I mean? States got excited. Independent businesses got excited. Residents got excited. Lots of people got excited. And there were RFPs that were put out on the street, and there was information that was shared all over the place, and people came up with these broadband plans, and they figured out how they were going to deliver it. And at first it wasn't perfect, and then it moved back and forth, and it was never absolutely perfect, but it got really, really far down the line to the point that funds were starting to be set aside to be made available. So, I mean, put yourself in the shoes of someone who's in South Texas or in Kansas or in these rural areas, where as a citizen, you've never had great internet access. You've kind of watched a whole digital world fly by you. And now there's an opportunity where you know that your community is going to get some funding, and you've got these partners, these local CLECs or ILECs, and these local telephone companies that are now turning around saying, great, we're going to be able to do this. They work with their communities. They try and figure out how to come up with the, either matching funds or grants to help get them on their way. And now all of a sudden, all of that just dries up, and it's not just the citizens that lose the benefit here. It's the small independent businesses that we're going to have an opportunity to thrive and do some incredible stuff with some of this BEAD funding. And then it's also the equipment manufacturers who, there's some companies out there that aren't doing as well as other companies, who this may have been a great opportunity for them to get their product out there and help their company grow. Maybe they really needed this business. And now I've spoken with my wonderful Secretary of Commerce, Howard Lutnick, and we agree that the Biden-Harris so-called Digital Equity Act is totally unconstitutional, Trump wrote on Truth Social. No more woke handouts based on race. The Digital Equity Program is racist and illegal. $2.5 billion giveaway. I'm ending this immediately and saving taxpayers billions of dollars. Dude, that sucks, man. Like, it must be nice to to not have to worry about internet connectivity, because there's a lot of people in the United States that do worry about internet connectivity for I mean, my wife is doing a telemedicine, telehealthcare call here in a little while, just to check on like normal stuff, and to know that there's people out there that don't even have access to that, or access for their kids to do their homework, or access to basic internet connectivity so that they can at least be a part of the conversation with their classmates. And then calling it racist and illegal, man, I don't even know. I don't even know where to go with that other than to say I'm absolutely disappointed. So support the people that support programs like this. National Digital Inclusion Alliance, the NDIA. Visit Broadband Breakfast to learn more about some of the things that are happening. But there's people out there that are trying to make the best of this and trying to figure out what to do with it, because this is $2.5 billion that are being taken away. Places like Indiana, Alabama, Arkansas, Iowa, Kansas, Texas, where plans have already been put into place. They've already been approved. And now they're saying, no, we're not going to fund any of this stuff. That is heartbreaking on so many different levels. This isn't a radio show. This is a podcast. And so, even things like this, wireless people who want to listen to, my silly ass sit here and talk about Wi-Fi stuff. If you don't have internet access, you can't download, you can't watch it, you can't participate. It's so frustrating, man. So frustrating. And then like double down, right? Where are we as a country? Let's see. The next thing with this is here from the great state of Texas. Our chairman, Senate Commerce Committee Chairman Ted Cruz, has passed the cruel Republican plan. So Ars Technica has an article. Let me see. Let me get my screen share going on for those of you that are riding along at home. Let's see if I can do this. Screen share. And this goes hand in hand with the BEAD funding thing. In the United States, right, when COVID hit, the digital divide was exposed something awful. And it wasn't just here. It was everywhere, right, where people couldn't get online. Students couldn't get online. Parents couldn't work from home. There's a lot of stuff. Sorry, I'm playing with poker chips. I just dropped one. A lot of people couldn't get online and have access to the things that they needed, because now that they were stuck at home, they didn't have a way to connect. And most importantly, school students didn't have the ability to get online with any meaningful connectivity. And so what happened was, some places, like here in the city of McAllen, the mayor, jumped into action, and we set up 1,000 Wi-Fi hotspots throughout our community. The city of Farr, down the street from us, they went out and did this huge fiber initiative to start a program to deliver fiber to everybody's homes. Across the country and across the world, initiatives like that took place. But in some places, that wasn't feasible. But what was piggybacking off the carriers, Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, whoever it is, and whichever carrier it was. And they said, you know what, we're just going to sign these contracts with carriers so that kids can take Wi-Fi hotspots home with them. Now, I hated that idea. I never thought it was a good idea, because that was never a permanent solution. That was an absolute temporary solution that the carriers knew that it was temporary. They knew that they were eventually going to charge for it. The school districts knew that they were eventually going to have to pay for it, but it was a stopgap. And it really bothered me, because instead of investing money in the future, they were like, well, we'll just throw some Band-Aids at it. And they did. And now that's going to come back and bite all these communities right in the ass, because this thing that just passed, and I'm going to read from Ars Technica. The U.S. Senate today voted along party lines to kill a Federal Communications Commission program to distribute Wi-Fi hotspots to school children, with Democrats saying the Republican-led vote will make it harder for kids without reliable internet access to complete their homework. The Senate approved a Congressional Review Act resolution to nullify the hotspot rule, which was issued by the Federal Communications Commission in July 24 under then Chairwoman Jessica Rosenworcel. The program would be eliminated if the House version passes and President Trump signs a joint resolution of disapproval. Now, this means that now they can't use federal funds, E-rate funds, whatever it is, to have kids use Wi-Fi hotspots at home. And the reasoning behind this, Senator Ted Cruz announced the plan in January, saying the FCC program would, quote, impede parents' ability to decide what their kids see by subsidizing unsupervised access to inappropriate content. Ted, get a clue, bro. There are all kinds of parental controls out there that parents can enable on their kids' stuff. We use Bark here at home. If you're a Bark fan, great. If you don't know what Bark is, go look up Bark. If you're from Bark, oh my God, give me a discount code for my listeners. We use Bark at home. Disney has Circle. There's parental controls everywhere. Eero has parental controls built in. All these different devices have parental controls built in. The internet is a pipe, man. And what you as a parent choose to allow your kids to have access to, whether it's everything or nothing or some of it, in my opinion, there's a way to control that. But destroying people's ability to have a connection to the internet, that to me just sucks. So if you couple this with the previous conversation about BEAD funding being lifted, where are we as a country? We've gone back to this place where now people don't have internet access and the federal government isn't willing to help them receive internet access. It's in stark contrast to what happened with Obama, what happened with Clinton, what happened with even W, with all these people, trying to figure out ways to get people connected. Now it's just we've gone backwards. Today's Senate vote on the resolution of disapproval is 50-38. Senator Blumenthal said on Tuesday, quote, that this resolution will prevent millions of students, educators, and families from getting online. It would be a disgrace if we provide their students and these families this vast resource of literally life-changing access to a really necessary service that helps them not just now, but throughout their entire futures. We ought to expand internet access, not constrict it. We ought to be enhancing it, not cutting it off. And this isn't just about the carriers. This isn't aimed at Verizon or T-Mobile or AT&T or Xfinity or whoever it is. This is everybody, because if I'm running a local wireless ISP and I'm using a band like CBRS allows me to give out hotspots to my community, now that funding dries up for them too. So all these small businesses, they're sitting here trying to figure out how to make a buck as internet service providers. They all get affected by this. And that to me is very, very frustrating. Again, what you can do is reach out to groups like the National Digital Inclusion Alliance, the NDIA, and go find places where you can help provide connectivity. If you're listening to this, you are probably a Wi-Fi professional in some way, shape, or form, or you want to get more involved in wireless. Here's what I would do. Find ways to deploy wireless in your community. Help out where you can. Get those old access points that are sitting on your shelf and figure out where you can repurpose them. Take them down to the Boys and Girls Club. Take them to community centers. Take them to nonprofit organizations. Take them to churches. Take them to places where people can use Wi-Fi, because if you're like me, you've got a whole bunch of junk sitting in your room not doing anything, while now there's children in your community that don't have access to internet. It's a little bit of a call to action. If you've got the stuff, use it. If you need some stuff, call me. I might have extras. I can't promise everything to everybody, but if you're in a position where you say, hey, you know what, Drew, I know you've got a stack of Aruba APs sitting right behind you, and I have a place that could really use them, reach out to me. Maybe I'll ship them to you. I do want to give away practically everything in my office, so so let me know. Let me know what can help. Anyway, so that's what's going on there. What else is happening on the commercial side? Hey, here's the thing, man. I like everybody. I like both those organizations. I have nothing negative to say about any of them. Um, I just think it's strange, HPE acquiring Juniper, man. My only concern is that like I don't want HP to screw that thing up because that's what a cool opportunity to bring together all the tools that HPE has done. I don't think they will. Antonio is a smart dude, man. I don't think he would screw anything up. I enjoy watching him, run the ship over there, and then knowing what Juniper brings to the table is pretty phenomenal. So who knows? But to see light reading just rip into that was kind of interesting because I hadn't thought about it that way. Now, I did ask, by the ooh, 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 ooh. There we go, Mark, dude. Thank you. 15 minutes in and 18 minutes in, I'm still having audio problems, dude. Let me go ahead and fix it. All right, I appreciate you guys very much. So Alphabet, what I was saying is the Alphabet spin out Terra teams with Digicom to expand Lightbridge deployment, and this was fascinating to me because I went through some of that FSO stuff. I deployed a lot of that, not a lot, but some of it, and we looked at Lightbridge, we looked at all these other. Well, it wasn't Lightbridge back then. I want to say it was Lightbridge only because I'm reading it, but we went through some of those things, man, and FSO was fascinating. So when I saw this pop up, I was like, oh joy, another entrant into free space optics. However, this one's a little bit different. They call it fiber over the air, which, say we heard that before. But what's different about, where is it? It's in here somewhere. A sophisticated system of mirrors, sensors, precision optics, and hardware to steer beams of light, effectively transmitting data through the air. This technology is designed to deliver fiber-like internet over up to 20 gig per second, reaching distances of 20 kilometers. Okay, awesome, but I mean, I really want to see it work. Terra demonstrated a silicon photonics chip capable of transmitting high-speed data through it. That's great. So they have a chip that can do it. It uses an optical phased array to steer, track, and correct light beams with precision, representing a significant advancement over traditional methods employed by the Lightbridge system. Yeah, I guess Lightbridge was older. The company anticipates incorporating technology in its next product launch in 26. I am interested in this because I want to see it work. I've always wanted to see it work. And then they started talking about this. Terra's use case aren't limited to terrestrial deployments. The company teamed up with Vodafone using drones equipped with Terra nodes to quickly restore communications after disaster. The drones can hover over areas affected by natural disasters, establishing temporary high-capacity links. The Terra nodes were mounted on drones and reestablished service by sending high-throughput light signals to fixed receivers. Okay, so if it can correct itself fast enough for a hovering drone to be able to maintain connectivity, that's the part of me that was really, really interested in this. So Amato, I'm going to be reaching out. I want to bring someone from their company, onto the show and have them talk about this. And I would love to see a real world deployment because I think that this could be really cool as an alternative in the wireless space. Light's wireless, bro, so it doesn't have to be Wi-Fi. I'm curious about it, so let's see where that goes. What else? Oh, the Things industry had their annual conference, and that was one of these days I'm gonna make it out to that. I think that's such a cool show. They focus on the IoT component and stuff, and the IoT Solutions World Congress happened. The Things industry has their show. And one of my favorite things to look at there, I'm going to pop it up on the screen here, is they have their wall of fame. That's this huge wall that shows off everything that that works in their world of IoT. Granted, they were mainly focused on LoRaWAN. I don't know what else they're doing. I know that there's been a whole lot of talk in the IoT space about UWB. Corvo did a great, had a great presentation at the Wi-Fi Now World Congress, and they're continuing to make strides. I know that there were announcements at Mobility Field Day about more inclusion of ultra-wideband now in Juniper products, and ultra-wideband has already existed in Cisco products. So to see people moving in the direction of ultra-wideband for things is pretty cool. I don't know if that's ever going to come to tracking devices like this, because you have to have the whole client software ecosystem thing working too. But ultra wideband now for directionality and locationing is pretty cool. But for things, large connectivity of things, great to see them. Great to see Halo still representing, Wi-Fi Halo representing at the Wi-Fi Now World Congress. Excited to see Wi-Fi Halo grow more. I leave on a plane tomorrow morning to go to Network X in Dallas to go sit down on a panel up there and talk about connectivity. But I know there's going to be a lot of connectivity conversations there at WBA. Hopefully we see more from Halo. Hopefully we see more about UWB and the things that are going on there, because it's such a cool space that's now not just LoRaWAN. There's all these other alternative technologies that can be used, and that's exciting stuff to think about. What else do we have going on here? Oh, I saw, a guy I work with showed this thing to me. I'd never heard of this, and I thought that it was interesting, and it's like, it's one of those things that you hear about that you're like, man, I don't think that'll ever make it. And if it does, it'll be like, wow, that's crazy. I didn't think that would ever make it. FiTunes products. So, there's always been here, before I jump into it, there's always been that idea that you could use leaky coax in buildings to supply Wi-Fi connectivity. I think George Stefanik tried it one time, if I remember correctly, and I thought about doing it at RailYard. I never did deploy it. It just didn't really add up, and there was never any good results. If you know of anyone who had good results using leaky coax as a Wi-Fi antenna system, let me know, because I would be interested in seeing that. But if it worked really well, I'm sure I'd see a lot more of it than we do out there in the industry. So that being said, FiTunes, check this out. High frequencies lose power, causing performance degradation. High frequency signals include 5G, Wi-Fi 6, and future 6G services. While those frequency bands can deliver ultra-low latency, you have to be close. You have to have a really good signal strength in order to do it. FiTunes products are designed to support a universe of possibilities. Okay, you ready for this? They have these things that use existing cabling, I want to say, to transport signal. This is like broadband over power line in a way. Because the 5G signal goes around barriers within a building, users receive a high signal strength and therefore significantly enhanced user experience. A single wire bidirectional transmission technology, FiTunes 5G, consists of two units. The head-end IF node carries with the carrier's 5G baseband units. Neptune then modulates the 5G signal and transports it over the building's physical wiring, such as Ethernet, coax, and fiber. The signal then terminates at several satellite RF nodes, where it's broadcast as a secure and strong 5G signal to all the indoor smartphones, tablets, etc. Okay, so maybe I'm confused here, and this is just reading through this. Tell me what you think about this, right? Because it sounded like they were using the cable, the existing cable, to carry the signal and then transmit, but it's not. They're modulating across the copper and then breaking that down at the end user. So this reminds me of touch systems. Wow, dude. Yeah, I went there. I was just having a conversation about touch. This reminds me of HDSL and IDSL, using existing wiring, modulating over the wiring to get ADSL, ADSL, HDSL, IDSL, XDSL, they call it, VDSL. VDSL is the big one that Zyxel had. So using the existing copper, this is saying that what they're doing is they're using the wiring to transmit the signal from a baseband node to satellite RF node. So that makes more sense. Very, very similar to broadband over power line. I wonder if I can look at the data sheet. Oh, look, nope, flagged. Yeah, okay, cool. FiTunes, right on. That looks neat. Let me know. I'm mean, I'll try it at the house. It's like a DAS alternative, it seems like, using existing copper instead of having to run fiber. John Rice, if you're listening, I wonder what your thoughts are on this, or Mike. Anyway, curious if you think that'll make a difference in the DAS space. What else do we have going on? Mobility Field Day 13 happened, and there was lots of conversation about. Let me see if I can load up my little notes here on that. There were lots of conversations around AI, around using different mechanisms in hardware and software combined. I don't know. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can load up my deal here. I had notes on this whole thing, so I don't want to mess up. I wasn't there. I wasn't a delegate this year. I'm back in what they called vendor scum, because now I'm back working for another vendor, so I usually don't get invited to things like that. Where is it? Well, I don't know. It's in here somewhere. No, not there. Anyway, if you have any thoughts on Mobility Field Day, let me know. I did an assessment where I was trying to understand really everything that was happening at MFD 13, and I didn't get to watch a lot of the sessions, but the Ultra-Wideband thing from Juniper is interesting. Ubiquity's program that they're working on, no, it didn't seem like there were any big announcements. What was fascinating was to see the Fortinet announcement of what was the one that they just acquired, where Fortinet didn't even mention it, but then Francois broke the news on his LinkedIn page. It was not Everclear. What's the name of the network? Everest Networks. The Fortinet acquisition, where they just kind of like glanced over it, and all of a sudden people who were paying attention, like Francois, were like, hey, wait a minute. No one's talked about that before. And so I still don't think that I'm surfing on LinkedIn right now to see if I can pull up that article. Where did it go? It was like, oh, okay. Didn't know that was actually happening. Look, here it is. Now we know why we haven't heard from Everest Networks in a while. So Francois busts out. He's like, hey, just in case you missed it, last week at Mobility Field Day, Fortinet announced they've fully acquired Everest Networks to complete their Wi-Fi solution portfolio. And it's like, oh, interesting. And then you read the comments on here. You look at comments online. People are like, where was this announced? When was this announced? All right. Well, good to them. I would tell you that out of all of the coverage, I'm going to give the shout out to Francois for the coverage on Mobility Field Day. Really cool, man. There's an article about what Nile did. There's an article about what Fortinet was doing. There's articles about Ubiquity. Francois always does such a bang-up job. Make sure, if you don't already listen to the Clear to Send podcast, that you jump in and you listen to the Clear to Send podcast with Francois and Roel. What else? Golly, I think that's about it. That's trying to catch up with everything that's going on. Yeah, lots of time on the road. I've had some really fun projects that we've been working on. I got to do some really cool Wi-Fi in a stadium. Eero announced our sponsorship of the Chicago Cubs at Wrigley Field, so I got to go out and be a part of that, which was really awesome. Awesome to sit through a 120-day game. That was pretty cool, too. And then lots of neat stuff. This week, Network X, if you're going to be in Dallas, give me a hello. And I'm going to be there with WBA, and I'm going to be talking about connected communities and some of the work that I've done in Oxstone, California, the work that I've done down here in McAllen, and why wireless makes a really good fit, in my opinion, for connected communities for people who are trying to get online. And then after that, I'm off to Charlotte for race day weekend. If you are a NASCAR fan, be on the lookout Sunday at the Coca-Cola 600 for a 6'5" guy walking around with a Spectrum analyzer in the pit with number 21, Josh Berry, driving the Ford Mustang, Team Penske Ford Mustang. The Eero car is going to be in full effect. So I get a chance to go out and hang out and see what Wi-Fi looks like in the pits at NASCAR. So that's going to be pretty neat to watch. Other than that, I think that's about it. Still, WLPC Call for Papers is out right now. WBA event is happening this week. The next events I'm going to be at, lots going on. High tech, if you're in the hospitality, the Hospitality Industry Technology Conference is happening in Indianapolis. Yes, it's in Indianapolis. And that's coming up, I believe, on the 16th, I want to say, of June. And then Cisco Live. I'll see y'all at Cisco Live. Drop me a note. We're still trying to figure out. We have to do something. I reached out to Alexis. I was like, hey, we have to do something fun to make sure that, we take advantage of being there at Cisco Live. So if you're at Cisco Live and you have some creative ideas, let us know. All right. I'll let you get your Tuesday morning back. I hope to see you all at Network X this week, and I hope to hear from you soon. No giveaways this week. The last giveaway that we did was really cool. We gave away. I'm putting together a battery pack tripod kit to send out to the last winner, and I've got something new that I want to do the giveaway for. So pay attention. If we end up doing something this week at Network X, I might be doing a broadcast from Network X or recording something. If I do, maybe we'll kick off a giveaway there. I could give away my Spectrum analyzer. I don't know if you guys have had to see one of the little Eka House squishies. I don't even know if anyone's listening on YouTube today. I having these errors that I had trying to get everything going. I didn't load up the YouTube channel. It shows I'm live and it shows that there's 7 people watching. So, you know what? Let's do it. Let's do a giveaway. Oh, this is going to be fun. We're going to find something in my office and we're going to give away. Y'all, I can't tell you. I really appreciate you all telling me that I was muted because I am a moron and I didn't get that thing figured out. Okay. What are we going to give away? Let's see. I'm going to give everybody a chance who's listening on any of the other channels, go to youtube.com/@wirelessnerd. Go to the Wireless Nerd YouTube channel. I'll give you some minutes to get in there. And let's do a giveaway here. Planes use leaky coax sometimes, don't they? Mark Hout says. Mark says, finally you're back. Oh, sorry, guys. Sorry about that lost audio. I'm going to have to chop it up a little bit. Dan and Mark, Pete, everyone listening and sticking around. Very, very cool. Give me a second. Let me get this going while we wait for everyone to get online. What are we going to give away, man? Okay, listen, there's a lot of junk in my office. I'm not going to lie, but I think y'all know that. So let's see. Is there anything that I might have that you all want me to give away? And what I'll do is I'll throw the Ekahau. I'm going to throw in a Sidekick 2 Mini, which is this guy right here. I'm going to throw this one in the box as well. And, we were just speaking about Anthropic. Alexis was talking about it. If you don't use Claude AI from Anthropic, you should. It's really cool. I'll throw in some stickers from Anthropic. I have an AI sticker and a Claude sticker. So I got those going in. You know what? I'm going to throw in an Anthropic pin as well. So that's going to go in the little box of goodies. Let's see what else. We're going to make a little good about. Okay, everyone's in there. We get some hearts coming in. All right, okay. What else do I have laying around that could be fun? Oh, man. I don't know what actually works. That's an old Cape sensor. We're not going to do that. Let me see. There's got to be something cool. Something I haven't opened. A keyboard, a mouse? No, that's not cool. Here's what we'll do. Let's see. I don't know. This is an old one. No, maybe not give that one away. Let's see. Woo! So much stuff sitting around. Where to start? I have a bunch of old APs. Nobody wants old APs. I don't know. I'm trying to come up with ideas, helping Drew clean his desk, right? I know, man. I'm trying. Y'all, I'm trying. I'm really trying here. It's a bit of a stretch. Let's see what I can find. I'm looking around like I have an XLR cable. I have a backpack. I don't even know which backpack this is. I don't even know where I got that one. No, you guys don't want a backpack. It's got to be cooler than that. Let me see. I don't know. I'm trying to find something fun. This is pretty anticlimactic. I thought I was going to turn around and see something cool just sitting there where I was like, oh, let me give that away. So here's what we're going to do. Halo, Link 1. We're going to give, well, let's do it. This is brand new. It's unopened. It's sitting here. Well, a car, right? Wi-Fi Halo. So this is a Wi-Fi Halo device. This is a long-range sub-gigahertz Wi-Fi Halo base station. It can work with any of your Wi-Fi devices. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this unopened one, and I'm going to package it together with the opened one that I already have. And I'm going to send you a full link, courtesy of our friends at Morse Micro. We're going to go ahead and give away this Wi-Fi Halo link. Does that work? That's cool, right? Okay. So the drawing today, if you're listening, give people a few more minutes here. If you're listening, we're going to do a Wi-Fi Halo link from Morse Micro. We're going to do some Anthropic swag right there, a pin and some stickers, and a squishy Ekahau mini sidekick. I think that's pretty good, right? That's pretty good? You guys cool with that? Okay. You know how this works. That's good. Been waiting to get my hands on one of those. Dan, if you win again, I really think Mark is due because he's always there. Oh, look, how about a pin from Ring? I'll throw in a little Ring pin also. There we go. Very cool. Nothing. Let's see what else is sitting on my desk. An old GoPro battery, a golf ball. Oh, listen. If you haven't had the Buc-ee's cotton candy mints, you're really missing out. These are legitimate, but there's only a handful of them left. Oh, here we go. We'll throw in a Marvis Mini, a 3D printed Marvis Mini. Okay. All right, y'all ready? This is how we're gonna do it. You know the rules. The giveaway, we've got active chatters right now, people talking. What we're going to do is we're going to do, random number. That's one. Giveaway to chatters who guess a random number. Is it closest, I wonder? I don't know. I've never done that one. Anyway, let's do keyword. Keyword, we're going to do it again. And what you have to do is you have to type in the word that I say in order to enter to win. And then I'm randomly going to choose one of the people that types the word in. Cool? Okay. So I think the word of the day. What's it going to be? Yeah. Give me good. We got more people. A surprise box. Oh, you know what? I'll find some more stickers and stuff to put in there. The word of the day is going to be wireless nerd. Again, type in wireless nerd. Punch it in there. Type in wireless nerd. It's going to light up your little screen to show that you're part of the giveaway. As soon as you put it in there, it'll light up, and then I will be able to see all the people that are typing wireless nerd on the deal. Okay, ready? Viewers, regulars, moderators. Here we go. Key phrase is wireless nerd. All right. Oh, Mark, you got to do it again. Sorry, I was late. Oh, there you go. No, it got you. Okay, Mark's in. I see you. Luis is in. All right. Oh, no, all one word. Sorry, just like Mark did. All one word. Dan, all one word. James, all one word. Wireless nerd, wireless nerd, wireless nerd. All right, here we go. Yes, one word. Correct. Can I enter my own like this? You guys are great. Thank you for playing along. There you go. I don't even enter myself. Oh, it entered me. I'm going to uncheck me. That's not fair. All right. Wireless equals nerd. I like it. That too. All right. Let me make sure everybody gets in here. I've got James, Dan, Luis, private. Sure. All right. Is that everybody? I think everybody's done it. Gibby, you gotta fix it. You gotta do wireless nerd all one. There we go. All right. This is cool. I think this is like the most ones we've had. Look, yes, we got a lot of people. This is great. We have 10 people watching, and we're gonna do our super cool giveaway. So I'm gonna do the Halo device that I have unlinked, and then our buddies at Morse Micro. I appreciate Morse Micro reaching out and letting me try their stuff, and so now I get to pass it on, which is great. So if you're a vendor and you want to give stuff away, holler at your boy, and I'll help you give it away. I love giving stuff away. Okay. All right. I think that's it. I think everybody's in there. I've got 8 entries. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 10 people listening. Oh, don't miss it. I think that's everybody, though. All right. 10 watching. Click the like button. Oh, yeah, like and subscribe. Oh, yeah. Hey, do me a favor. Go hit the like button, too. Yeah, why not? Give me a bunch of likes. I need like 500 more viewing hours or whatever before I can monetize with ad roll at the beginning or the end or something. So help a brother out. There we go. Virgil pops in. Let's see how many likes I get. I'll give it away when I get 5. When I get 5 likes on this. Okay, we're at 3. I need 2 more. All right, let's see if we can do it. I see 3 likes. Give me 2 more likes. Get me up to 5. We'll do the giveaway. This is fun. I feel like one of those YouTubers where you're like, "What's up, chat? How's it going?" All right, I think we're done. Okie dokie. Everybody's in. Last call. I'll give it another minute, and in 1 more minute, we'll do the drawing. Cool. All right. Hey, on the chat, are any of y'all going to WBA? Will you be at WBA next week or this week? Sorry, or what's it called? Network X. Will you guys be at Network X? If you are, that'd be cool. Mr. Wireless Nerd Louis says, I like it. I like it. We've got about 30 seconds. I don't think I'll keep this part as part of the podcast. I think this is going to be a live-only thing. What do you think? I think so. I think that's the way to do it. All right. We got about 15 seconds. Y'all ready? I'll be at Private Wireless Pros Workshop in Long Beach. Oh, my God. You know what? Speaking of, dude, Wico, I'm so bummed that I wasn't in Philly or North Carolina for Wico. I saw both of those popping off. And then, I really want to go to Wico one of these days. I'm really hoping that we can make one happen somehow, some way in San Antonio or Austin. That would just be so cool. Okay, it's been a minute. We're going to do the giveaway. Y'all ready? Here we go. The winner, Mark. I'm really rooting for you, Mark. Here, I'm gonna share the screen so that y'all don't think that I'm cheating if Mark wins, because I really, really, really want Mark to win because he never wins. Oh, Wico, Norway last week. Great event. Okay, ready? In 3, 2, 1. German wins! Woo! Yay! Following stats unknown. Winner messages. Waiting for winner to send a message. Yay! Congratulations! Nice, man. Hooray! Oh, my God. So can you give me the phonetic way to say your name so I don't totally botch it? What's the right way to say your name if you had to type it out phonetically? Was I close at all? Maybe. Let's see. Yay. Anyway. Congrats. Very cool, man. Very, very cool. Thanks for playing along. You guys are awesome. I totally enjoy doing this with you guys. So do me a favor and send me, slide into my DMs and send me a message on LinkedIn, and I will make sure that I drop this in the mail to you. Anyway, from everyone over here at this beautiful big office and the production crew and everyone behind the scenes, like the wall, as you can tell, it's not professionally produced. Anyway, I hope you all have a great week. From Drew Lentz, the Wireless Nerd, peace out. Enjoy the week, and make sure to follow all the social media stuff because I'm doing some really cool stuff this week. We can't wait to share it with y'all. Anyway,